Hello, hello. Hey, Skeleseller. Oh, what am I doing? I can't wear this unless I have it zipped up. So how else will you see the logo? That's why I wear this. There we go. Nice. How's it going? Happy afternoon. Let's modify this. Adam is going to be working on the difficulty track, which is basically the ascension system from Slay the Spire. Each level will add one new constraint so that by level 20, you have 20 little difficulty modifiers. Hey, so yeah, I fixed a bug for this, and then I said I wasn't happy with how I fixed this. Well, one thing I should do is in the base ability tree, whatever we call that, I should probably write down why this is a function. Yeah. This is a function rather than a direct reference to an abilities component because the abilities component could change at runtime. Okay, you know what might be a better way of doing this is if we just give the buttons a reference to this function too, then there wouldn't be any problem. Then they'd always use the same one. I'll have to fight the spaghetti code. What spaghetti code? And good luck in the fight, Dark. Hey, Thirsty. Still don't understand how you survive without caffeine? I don't sometimes. I just have to take a nap. If you don't have caffeine and you're tired, then... Oh, mine. Okay. I see. Well, I wish you luck nonetheless. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a desire to start having caffeine again, but I don't know what it would be like if I had it. Suppose I could regulate it. Would it really feel all that different from now? Would I feel out of it more often? Would I don't know, operate at a higher level? There's probably some sweet spot that's greater than 0 milligrams of caffeine that's like decent for you. Anyway, I'm probably not going to experiment with that. Yeah, so we wouldn't even need to keep track of whether we loaded this thing or not. I could just bypass all of this code if all we do is we just keep a reference to these buttons, right? Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense than what I'm doing here. Yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense. I can't regulate it, so I get that perpetual inconsistency. Yeah, well, that was the difficult thing for me. I don't know if you heard me talk about the motivation behind why I gave up caffeine, but a lot of what happened is I was working in an office job and I would have these meetings and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll grab a soda." And the problem with soda is that it's like 40 grams of sugar plus the caffeine. And I was having it for the caffeine. So I was like, man, I should probably just cut out caffeine. Like, I don't want to become dependent on this. And then I cut out soda too because I was like, I shouldn't be having all that sugar. And then I cut out all carbonated drinks because I'm like, even carbonation is not necessarily good for you. So yeah, now I mostly just drink water and like protein shakes and stuff. But yeah, I don't drink tea or coffee or soda or I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I cut out quite a lot. All right. Well, I'm glad that I have some clarity coming back to this because, yeah, I think the right thing to do now is to go to skill button base and wherever we took in an abilities component, which I think is in init. Yep, right there. We have it be a function of how to get an abilities component. Skill base. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I want to put this here. And then we go change the rest of this stuff. Yeah. So put that up here. Now take this thing in the function. init, and then save that. And then that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we go delete all this other code that I wrote, like this. I'll comment it out for now, but I think we can get rid of all of it. Yeah, even this stuff could go away, although it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to invoke it now. Completely unhealthy. Well, it's never too late to change this stuff if you want to. You know what really inspired me? I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I read some random comment on Reddit about doing something so gradually that it was almost unnoticeable. It was like over the course of 1 to 2 years, someone made some goal for themselves. And I was like, I should try that too. And that's what led to what is the URL for my blog? There, this. That led to this. Hi, Abby. Want to come over? Hi, Catso. Come on. Sit your little butt down. Do you have a separate numpad or is it programmed with a key combination? Again, Sternblade. I am using, hang on. I can't actually touch my keyboard without the cat moving. Okay, there we go. I have this key map. By the way, Lewis, thank you. Thank you for the money, the donation thing here. Need to drop by to the streams more often. I just got my first graduate software engineering job a few weeks ago. You were a big inspiration for me around 5 years ago, so thanks. Well, congratulations. Yeah, congrats. And thank you. You certainly don't have to do this. I appreciate this nonetheless. But yeah, I hope you like your job too. So Sternblade, this answers your question here. I've got a bunch of different layers. So the numpad is me entering my number layer. So when I hold this key, which this is kind of like the shape of the keyboard, right? So this is this key on the keyboard. When I hold my thumb here, now I can type numbers. Let me delete all this. I can type numbers really easily. So I go from letters to numbers with all the same keys that I would normally be typing. And it's very convenient. Hey, Becca. Oh, add. Okay, well, yeah. Happy to explain when you get back, but basically I use layers for the numbers. It's like how you type and with shift +1. Type a 5 with num plus. Okay. Okay, so I just got to fix these problems here. This should be get abilities function. We don't even have this here. Oh, this isn't going to work, is it? Unless we know what tree this is for. And we probably don't, so this is probably a dumb idea. Oh, we could just pass in a function that returns the abilities component here, right? Adventure panel tab. Yeah, I guess we could. So func abilities component, get abilities component. Then pass that into that. And then change the same thing for this. Okay, let's try it out. This cat is so adorable. Is that a warning? What even was that? Oh, yeah. Probably have a bunch of those. Okay, so does it work? New game, perks. We have them all maxed. I'm going to click refund. Click this again. They're back to this. Actually, this fixes... No, this broke everything. I was going to say this fixes another problem. I actually don't think it even does. Oh, man. All right, what's going wrong now? So we're not calling loaded from save file. That's okay. That's just a comment. This is a way of getting this function. This abilities components passed in through there. It should always return whatever's newest. Yeah. Where do you get all the assets from? Working alongside a designer? If you take a look at this document, it explains it a little bit more. So I started with some asset packs, and then Quickie Joe worked on top of the asset packs. And I'd say at this point, it's the majority of Quickie Joe's work and not the SFX anymore. I think Quickie Joe did fantastically at all of this. He is phenomenal. Oh man, this is really bad that this didn't just work, but I don't know why it didn't work. You should just use whatever keyboard I got. Then got hooked onto the Logitech Wave, which I preferred wired, but they only make wireless now. I bought a mechanical keyboard and I like that. I was thinking about others. Yeah, I think, I mentioned this in that keyboard video that I have there in the keyboard command, but I think the biggest thing I did was I got a QMK keyboard that let me try a nav layer. So if you have a customizable keyboard and you've got, let's say you've got a QWERTY keyboard. Let me pull up a QWERTY keyboard picture. Okay, so let's click this. Doesn't matter, it's got to be any keyboard. Hopefully there's a head-on view because that's the whole reason I've loaded this picture. Okay, yeah. So normally the arrow key, oh God, this picture sucks. The arrow keys are like way off to the side, and moving your fingers over to them is tedious because then you have to move them back to where they were. So just making it so that I could hold this key, the semicolon key, and turn these things into arrows or home and end and not have to move my hand at all, that was amazing. That on its own is fantastic. And if you didn't do anything beyond that, I think you'd find that to be very valuable. So then the rest of the keyboard is like, well, just keep taking that that concept to the maximum. And at some point, it'll increase your learning curve a lot. But if you're just modifying arrow keys or something, it's pretty easy. How's lunch? It's pretty good. Hey, Meridio. Hey, Leaper Girl. Hey, Love Pickle. Q for you. When or how do you know when a project is not going to work and you have to stop sinking hours into it? I am not a great person to ask for this because I worked on Botland for so long and I probably should have stopped sooner. But I think that my guiding principles now are an MVP and product market fit. And the how do you know is pretty much like when people start responding well. So I think you should enter a feedback loop as early on as you can. And what I mean by this is in Skeleseller, we had, I don't know if you watched back then or you remember this, but we had checkpoint number 1 was after a month or so of development. Like, hey, is this going in the right direction? And it was really rough around the edges. If you look at, I don't remember the date of this, but if we look at live, maybe, where did we find this? Skeleseller VODs. There. All right, wherever I start talking about checkpoints. What's going on here? Checkpoint never shows up in the title? All right, well, whatever. Let's click this. All right, let's just try to find where I'm running the game. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is what the game looked like as of July of last year. I don't remember if we'd already tested this with people or not, but it was like there were just shops. We didn't have a farm. That was just a graphic that we added in. It wasn't real. There was a warehouse. There were customers who walked around who had like a certain amount of money that they were holding. I guess I could just play the video. And like this is what the UI looked like. Battles looked bad. And back then we were still confident enough. Like people were like, yeah, I could see this game being fun. So we kept working on it and kept addressing things. So yeah, I think what I'd try to do is like, what's the smallest thing I can do to prove my idea? And then how do I find the people who will confirm that for me? And are there a lot of them? So like if there's no one, you could make a flawless product that doesn't do anything helpful for people. Like imagine I don't know, a basketball destroyer. It's a machine that perfectly destroys basketballs. It's like, is anyone looking for that? No, I don't think so. So there's probably no product market fit. It doesn't matter how good your product is. It's like, if no one wants it, no one wants it. So try to find that early on. And with games, there's almost no game you could make where no one's going to want to play it. Like you could make a horror game, you could make a puzzle game, there's going to be someone out there who wants it. And it's just a question of how many of those people are there? How much are they willing to pay? How good is your game for them? You stole my startup idea. The basketball destroyer. Turns out there's a huge market for this. This cat is so soft. How are you this soft cat? All right. Well, I don't know what to do with this. This works, but then we go back into this and it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, because now we're modifying some other thing. Oh, because we never recreate the... No, wait, we don't need to. Or maybe we cache this somewhere? Skill button base? Abilities component. Do we ever cache this? No. I don't know. All right, I should probably just go back to what we had. And it's just bad, but whatever. Let's just keep the bad stuff then. I don't want to spend forever doing this. Yeah, so this would change back to what it was. Wait, no. Sorry, that doesn't change. Wait, yes it does. What am I doing? Why does this look bad? Because we're not saving the abilities component anymore. Yeah, so revert, I guess, every change to this file. And this file. And probably that. Yeah, sure thing, Pickle. And if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them on that front. I try to be honest with myself, and then I try to be honest with other people. But in order to be honest with other people, you first need to know what you actually feel about something. And I've had enough time since Botland has been done to think about what happened, why did it happen, how do I feel about it? Because as I was going through it, I was driven by quite a lot of hope. And then right after it happened, I was driven by quite a lot of bitterness. And now I think there's been acceptance of it and learnings from all of what happened too. Like I said, I think the biggest thing that's guiding me now is just make sure you're developing something that people want. And I'll probably continue to hone this feeling until I'm probably closer to the business side of things than the passion side of things than I ever was. But I hope that there's still some passion driving these projects. Otherwise, I kind of hope that I just stop. Because I think there are enough cash grabs out there, and I don't want to make things that are cash grabs. I don't want to make a game just because it's a popular genre at the time. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to just make games that I think will be fun. Was the shift to documented text-based and structured thinking a cognizant decision, or did you do that intentionally for note-taking as you think through the process and framing? Note-taking itself has been a cognizant decision. The sort of stream of consciousness stuff you see me noting, like in this buffer right here, this is mostly for the stream's sake. So that if I'm ever like, where was I? What was I talking about? Or what was I doing? And I switch to a different tab and I come back to it and I'm like, oh, right. We were just talking about this thing. Yeah, that's right. Like this is so that other people can follow along. Because let's say I just kept typing more and more text and at some point I'm down to line 25. Someone who's just tuning in could be like, are any of these words interesting to me? If so, maybe I should go watch the last, 2 minutes of this or something. Pretty confident I have a good market fit for what I'm trying to build. There's been a lot of wow factor. The issue is that the platform is only good if others invest into it, so it's hard to invest into something that's half-baked. Yeah, that's pretty difficult. This is like the social network effect. You could make the next Facebook, but if you never acquire users, then it's kind of worthless. It doesn't matter what features your site has if it's a social site and there are no people on it. So if it's something like that, I don't really have too much insight into what you can do about that. I guess with any of these things, if you look at it in terms of risks and then how do you mitigate the risks, it's like, I mean, you know what your platform is that you're talking about. I'm not even sure what you're talking about right now, but like, how would you mitigate that? Would you maybe try to get a small pool of people who are committed to making sure the platform sticks around, or yeah, I don't know. I need to know more about the domain probably. After a lot of trial and error and install, reinstall, looking at GitHub, I somehow managed to win for my computer. You did it. Humans always win for now. Congratulations. That's great. Good Friday progress for you. All right, I want to close out of all these tabs. I also want to make sure this is working again, so let's try this one more time. So go back to the title screen, click this, click new game, click this, click refund, go back to here. And then I think it's going to break. Yeah. So this is what I'm a little confused by. What should even happen in this case? Because I think the rest of this probably works. Like if I click refund and then start clicking these things, yeah, that works. That you start a new run from the title screen. I guess it would load the perk choices you made. Maybe we just prevent you from leaving this screen. Or maybe we only do this when you get to the title screen. Why don't we do that now? Yeah, we do this. Oh my God. Is that really the problem here? Hold on a second. Okay, I think that maybe we should just load once when you reach the title screen, not multiple times. That would probably fix this issue. Sunken time you get used or committed and have a nostalgia feeling while it still exists and it's not fun. I mean, that's certainly an opinion. And yeah, it's not a blanket statement, right? Last time I played WoW, I had fun, and it was still basically the version from 2004. But I do think that's one way of keeping people on a platform is like, hey, I invested a lot of time or money. Think that maybe we should just load once when you use the title screen. Okay, so if we were to do this, how would this work? Because right now the title screen has this code here. This is when you press the button. Why don't we just do this immediately? Yeah, why don't we just load challenge mode data as soon as you get to the title screen? Where would we do that if not for here? It's right there in the main state. Oh, the main state happens. Huh. Okay, I think I understand what's going wrong here. Yeah. Also, where's this coming from? Yeah, that's fine. And then there's one more thing I gotta look for, which is this. No, that's it. Huh, maybe that is the issue. And not when you first load up the game in general. Cat, what are you doing? Just sit down. Okay. Look at this. Look at this adorable little creature. I'm a little bit terrified because this is how she was sitting that night that she flipped out. Like, it's probably a little bit hard to tell. So, obviously, her head is here. Her body is like slightly under the desk. So that if this is the desk and this is her body, they're kind of like pressing up against each other. At least her floof is pressing up against the desk. So I can move a little bit and she doesn't seem bothered at all. If I were to like jump up by a couple of inches right now, she'd be pressed against the desk and it would probably hurt. I don't know if that's what happened or what, but yeah, the other day she just like leapt off of my lap and like knocked a monitor over and caused a lot of chaos. And I think she was okay, but I don't know what scared her or what hurt her or anything. Well, she's very peaceful and calm now. Hey, sire. All right, so what if we move this? We take this from main, load. Wait, it's not even here. Main scene. Yeah, we take it from here and we put it on the title screen in ready. And then we change whether or not you have an ongoing run to just not load the thing. Okay, let's try it. You know the drill. Make a change. Test out the change. Never get back to the problem I was originally working on. All right, so we click this. We've got all our changes. I go back to here and click this again. But if I click load, we have all the changes that we had from before. Yes. And we have, yeah, those two. Okay, I think this is working now. And I think what this does is it stops us from having to call this. So let's go verify that too. Because if so, this is a much, much nicer change than what I had done originally. It doesn't make sense for us to load from a save file like 14 times. So title screen, click here. these are working. Click back to here. I can still put points into here. So, okay, if I start with these, actually, let's refund it. Let's just pick the potion shop because that's very obvious. So now the potion shop should have 4 slots. The other one should have 2. Yep, and 2, yeah. And then if I go over to here, we just see the potion shop. If I save and go to the title screen, we click new game, we'll just see the potion shop here. But if I click continue game, we'll see our one from before where, yep, we only have that. Yeah. Okay, it looks like everything's working. It looks like this is a lot smarter than what I was doing originally. So I think I can delete this stuff. So delete that and that and that and that. This is technically not needed anymore, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's needed. Hey, Mirth. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Take a look at your stream. Let's go see Adam. What were you working on? Playing Go and reading Spanish comics. Also plane flying. Oh, wait a second. Did you raid me before? Yeah, you did. Yeah. I think I had the same. Yeah. Go and Flight Simulator. Okay. Yeah. So you're still doing like the same general stuff. Yeah. Welcome in. Hey, Suecia. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. Sorry. My mind just kind of blanked. Anyway, thank you. We're working on fixing a bug right now. And then if any of you have played Slay the Spire, there's this concept of an ascension level. And the way it works is that each level adds a very small modifier. So it might be like plus 10% enemy health or something like that. And then level 2 is every previous level plus, maybe like minus 10% player health. And level 3 would be everything. And then, some other difficulty modifier. So that by the time you get to the end, you got a whole bunch of these stacked on top of each other, but no individual level is that hard to learn. We're going to do something very similar in Skeleseller. So level 0 will be the tutorial. And level 1 will add in some modifier and some modifier after that and so on and so forth. I don't know what these should be, though. So we got to come up with all these levels. Yeah, how'd your stream go today, Mirth Turtle? I hope it was good. We are going to clean this up. Oh, by the way, for those who haven't seen the game, there's the link to the Steam page. That's got a trailer on it, which is going to explain it better than I will right now. And then I can clean this up because none of this is going to be used anymore. In fact, I think all of this can be deleted. Yes. Oh, you okay, cat? Okay, yeah, revert this. It was good learning some Spanish. Do you have a particular goal with Spanish? Because I like learning languages, but I don't like the idea of then losing that knowledge because of just how our brains work. And what I've realized is if I don't have someone to speak the language with, then it's just an academic exercise. It's like, oh, well, I learned this language and then that's it. A year will pass, I'll forget most of it. 5 years will pass, I'll forget pretty much all of it. Okay, nice. So fix bug with meta perks. We were creating multiple abilities components. So you would try adding a point to something and it wouldn't have any visual effect because the button pointed to a stale component. This was only happening because we would try loading from the save file every single time you clicked challenge mode, when it really only had to happen once when you reached the title screen. Cool, so that's done. Just understand a comic book. I see, yeah. Yeah, back in college, I think I like ended up minoring in Arabic or something, or maybe, I don't know. I did a lot of Arabic lessons, and I remember my teacher telling us in like the first semester of it, something like, hey, if you can get to the point where you can understand Arabic poetry, like you'll really appreciate it. I never got to that point. I don't know how many years it takes to get to that point, but I think it's more than 3 years. I wonder how long it'll take before you can understand what you need to from your Spanish comic book. Hopefully it's not years. It's a much closer language to English though. All right, so this is done. This is done. This is finished. Okay, so come up with the difficulty levels. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the tutorial. I think that's fine. Then I'm not sure what. I think we should slowly take away all the benefits we gave you at the beginning. The question here is, what do people want out of this? Like, how casual of a scale should this be? Let's say you had a difficulty level. So this is a level, and this is the actual like difficulty, how hard it is here. And let's just say it's linear. Where do you start someone? Like your game is basically going to be a rectangle. So maybe it starts here, and level 1 is you're already at like whatever this is, 50% of the max difficulty could be. Or maybe you start here and, well, I guess you have to start with it somewhere on the curve. Maybe you start here and you're like at almost no difficulty at the beginning of the game. So like, yeah, what is your window into the game here? And I don't know what to pick for Skeleseller. Like, do we start with like hyper easy mode, and then we go to super easy mode, and then we go to very easy, and then we go to easy, and then we finally get up to like normal difficulty, and maybe this is level 6? Or do we start with, no matter what, by the way, the first level is going to be like hyper easy mode. It's the tutorial. Or do we go from hyper easy mode to like normal mode immediately? That's probably too big a jump. But maybe this is easing people in too slowly. I don't know. Reading's also pretty easy because you can take time to figure out. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Yeah. Yeah, I think any language consumption is definitely easier than the production of it. So reading and listening are easier than writing and speaking. And I guess one of the nice things too about Spanish is that there's no different alphabet. So you could just type things in pretty easily on your phone into Google Translate. Whereas if you were learning like Arabic or Russian or Hindi or something, then you have a different alphabet completely. Does the difficulty have to be static? So what I'm talking about here is like this track. So like level 2 is going to be a certain set of constraints here. So in this case, it says items sell for 20% less. This is going to be static. But then once you start the run, you might get different choices that might make it easier or harder. So for example, you're like, oh, I'm going to build my first building, and you click build. You might not have gotten the building you want, and that might make it a little bit harder, but it's not going to like ruin your whole run. It's just going to change your decisions a little bit. So it's kind of sort of static difficulty, plus or minus probably like 10%. Hey, Spoopy, stuck on a seemingly simple problem yesterday. Did you end up solving it? Can you skip levels if you're an experienced player? Okay, so here's the thing. I think the answer is going to be no. But in the old style, skipping didn't hurt you at all because there was no meta progression. Now that there's meta progression, this would be like if you're a pro Diablo player and you're like, oh, start me in the level 80 zone, but I'm level 1. It doesn't matter how good you are at the game, really. You're still going to die because the game difficulty is too hard for that level. So it's like there need to be a way for you to say like, okay, skip me to the level 80 zone, but make me level 40. That way I can prove that I'm really good at the game or something. So like we could let you skip, but then you won't have any meta perks. And if the game is balanced around you having, let's say, like 20 of these at level 5, then it might be impossible. Hey, Chris. Hey, Goo. After chewing glass. Oh, man. AI could probably help with some of that stuff in the future. What's left on the roadmap? So finishing up challenge mode, localization, the rest of the content for story mode, some music, too, as part of that, probably. What else? Achievements. The release stuff that I have to do. So like a new trailer, reaching out to influencers again, and probably press. What else? Oh, final cutscene. Yeah. Yeah, so like this stuff mostly. Have you already implemented a save system? Did you build it from scratch, or is there a well-established or easy way to handle it? I'm getting crazy here. Yeah, we have implemented a save system. It is pretty much built from scratch. It's based on C# and JSON. And if you want, I wrote a ton of notes on this here. I'll paste these in, although you might not be using C#. And the general concept is to serialize things into a form that you can later use to like hydrate the full object. So for example, if you have an item in Skeleseller, all we need to know is what ID and what quantity is it. So we literally just save items like that. We save items like an array of, ID 5, quantity 6. And this means you have 6 of whatever this item is. I'm on GDScript. Okay, yeah. It might even be easier than on GDScript. But I would probably look and see what assets exist out there that might help you with this. 6 months of work, I don't know. And that's one of the problems. Challenge mode is just so important that I had my head in the sand the whole time, just saying like, however long this takes, we're taking that long. And then afterward, I can go look at the roadmap and actually estimate things. So we've been moving pretty smoothly on challenge mode. And the goal is by like end of October, move on from challenge mode. And I'm hoping we can play test it by the end of next week, which means that we'll start getting feedback. I'll iterate on the feedback. We'll add some more content. We'll test some more things out. And then, yeah, hopefully we can move on. It's more of a chore to play through them. I think it should ramp in difficulty quickly, but then things should also get easy again as meta perks are earned. Yeah, that's fair. I think the question, though, is like I said, how many people are going to come into this mode saying, I want the game to be casual? And we can't have it, I don't know. Experienced players shouldn't feel like they have to go through easy peasy modes. And I guess like casual players shouldn't feel like they're stuck on a particular difficulty. But this is maybe one of those questions where we just can't really determine without playtesting. Yeah. What is challenge mode? I've got just the thing for you. No, wait, where is it? Challenge mode? There we go. Is this even still? Yeah, no, this is not even correct anymore. Let me change it. Challenge mode in Skeleseller. This stuff's still the same. The main feature for replayability, condensed version of the game, presents randomized choices. It will be each run earns earns perk points, which lets you make future runs easier. Yeah, something like that. Okay, hang on. I can't sit like this. I'm sorry, Cat. I'm sorry, Abby. Will you please? Goodbye, Cat. Goodbye. Oh, God. My legs. I took a wonderful set of pictures of her. Let me see if I can share any of these or if they have any revealing information in them. Okay, I'll share this one. This portion of a picture, which is just her face. Look at that. She looks positively nonplussed. Okay, so maybe we ramp this up a little faster than I thought. I still think the tutorial can be very easy. And maybe we make this an earlier level than I had thought. And maybe we make the goal for this 5,000 as well. So maybe this could be how it goes. Does that make sense? This is basically like you get -3 perks, but they're pretty important perks. But then your meta perks can give you them right back. Typical Calico stare. She was pretty happy. She might look like she was moody or something. She was happy. Okay, I think this is probably reasonable. Yeah, increase per cost. Start with only 2 item slots per shop. Then I think we start. Maybe we give enemies more health. I'm not sure. Or maybe the less loot thing. Yeah, I think we do that. Less loot. So this is done. This is kind of done. Seeds cost more. That would only affect the farm. Is that a problem? I don't know. Let's just do it. All right, enemy power. Yeah, sure. Now what should it be? Because I think we have it set to 150% right now. I wonder if you can still win that way. Can we try this? I think we can just try it. Yeah. I can just set this to level 1. Yeah, nice. Okay, so the question is, can Mushy win in the forest when enemies do more damage? Yes. Okay, then there's no problem. Slower adventure growth is just slower economy. Well, remember, you can get perks that can offset this stuff. So, for example, you could get... I mean, I guess there aren't a lot of them. I have to add more. But you could get this one, which starts you with a couple of battle perks. You could get this, which starts you with some specific skills. You could get things that, like, your farm starts out bigger. All right, so that one's done too now. Adventurers regenerate more slowly. I just don't think this is very fun. So if we're going to do it at all, we should probably do it on, like, level 15 or something. Oh, it's a fair penalty. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, item sales are worth less. New customers show up less frequently. Where should that one go? Maybe level 10? No, maybe sooner than that? This is probably going to be a decent jump in difficulty. Let's put it there anyway. All right, now what? I think we can do minus X% garbage slime hunger, but it can't be like a ton. It's gotta be a smaller amount. Maybe like 20%. What do they start at? I guess they technically start at 100% of their normal amount. So we'd be putting it at 80%. And then your perks could bring it up to a higher amount. Hey, Hepta. All right, so let's write that one down there. So that now that's been done. Item sales are worth less. Do we even have this coded? Constraint ID. Oh, we do. How did I code this? It's just 20% less. Okay. Sure. Where should that one go? Maybe here? And then that uses up all of my concrete ideas. Now I don't have any. What we could do is we could just say, I'm going to make the first 10 levels and we come up with the other ones later. And I just bump this one up to level 10. What other difficulty modifiers could we do? I guess we could do something minor for each system. We already have one for the farm. Let's figure out what the other ones would look like. Let's just make a new game. Click that, click that, click that, and that, and that. Oh, you know what would be nice? Keys cost more, maybe? Or treasure chests cost more? I like that one. Treasure chests cost more. Getting something in a later level would be a good hit. Yeah, like loot magnet is less potent. It's a good idea. So treasure system done, enchanter done, farm done, fishing not finished. You know, it'd be kind of funny for the fish. It would be like fish have plus 100 health. He's so mean to the player. I kind of like the idea. Fish fight back. I want to do something easy at first because fish fighting back, I think I don't think you can lose a fishing battle right now. So we'd have to code that ability. But maybe it would be, What if it's like fish have return damage? That could potentially work. In fact, that's actually something I should probably write down as an idea here somewhere. Hey, catch and craft. Fish get away. I don't think it would work for this game. Negative perks. Where's the... Do I not have this written down somewhere? Oh, here it is. Fishing. Fish have return damage. I.e. you take X damage every time you hit a fish. This would probably be stupid. Yeah, I think any way you can lose in the fishing battle would be stupid because you could just set it to auto battle. And then it's probably not very interesting. Yeah, I don't think we should do this. Never mind. Meaning the battle restarts. Well, it's kind of the same thing. So either, let's say fish can attack or fish can run or something like that, or fish deal thorns damage. All of these result in the same thing, which is just, yeah, the battle will auto restart and it'll just cost a tiny bit of time. So a better way of doing this is probably just say fish have more health, because that's another way of having it cost more time. But now it's just it's a built-in mechanic already. So I kind of like that idea. I don't know if there's something better we could do. I mean, what we could do, okay, it could be like every minute that you don't catch a fish, they're leaving your pond. So it's making you want to fish more often, but I'm not even sure that's fun for the game. So I'm probably going to go with this route, I think. Some of these are general debuffs, but some sound like they break specific parts of the game. Are those pretty harmless unless you're using a strategy that's affected? So the idea here, I've been using this term system hate. So as an example, we have the farm in the game, and you can eventually level it up and get a 5x5 plot of land here. Let's say we were to say, okay, the maximum farm size is 1x1. That is what I would call system hate. It's like, well, now you can't really invest in the farm. You're going to hit one crop. So why would you put anything into it? But there is system dislike, which could be something like crops grow 20% slower. So now it's like, okay, your farm still works. You're still incentivized to get as many synergies as you can. You just won't get as much output from it. So this is what I'm trying to steer toward with these difficulty modifiers. And this, I think, is a bad idea. These can be done for twists. Twists show up every certain number of perks that you get. So I go into challenge mode over here, and we ignore everything that's happening right now. Okay, so I get 1 perk, 2, 3, and then 4, and then the next one is a twist. So these sometimes have system hate in them. These might say something like, you know, your treasure chests give you almost nothing or something like that. I don't know. Because these you can choose not to get. Doesn't cause difficulty if you aren't using that system. Oh, you kind of need to use every system toward the end. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was the sort of the converse of what I was originally answering. So sorry, I misunderstood. But also, at the end of the day, we just need to play test this stuff. It's possible that people largely ignore the fishing pond, let's say. And if they do ignore the fishing pond, then I need to be like, well, how do we incentivize them to use it? Or how do we disincentivize you from using other systems? And even that, by the way, playtesting, all of this is just to make sure that the game is fun. If people are having fun and they're ignoring 80% of the systems in the game, I don't even think that's a problem. If everyone's ignoring 80% of the systems, that means we probably shouldn't develop those systems. But if they're all the same systems that they're ignoring, it just means, well, if people are still liking the game, then we should probably just not invest in those systems anymore in the future. All right, so I talked about the slime, the fish, the farm, the treasure room. What do we still have? The warehouse. Warehouse and enchanter. No, we talked about the enchanter too. So just the warehouse. I don't think we can do anything with the warehouse. Yeah, I don't think there should be a negative for that. Alternatively, one of the negatives could be that you don't start with level 2 of the warehouse, I guess. We don't start you with it now, but we could give it to you by default. We could give you level 2 and then take it away. And that could be the negative. I don't think that's a good idea, though. I think we'll just ignore that for now. Yeah. So let's see. What other ideas do we have here? So I have 3 more of these. Let's just slot these into some of the levels. So I will put this here. Treasure chest cost more. Let's put that sort of toward the end. Let's put the loot magnet one at level 10. Fish having more health. I'll put that here for now. I don't really think it's super interesting, but it's better than nothing. So we need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more of these. One of them should probably be another level of enemy power plus 50%. Or maybe like enemy stats plus 50% should be the final one. Do I have a garbage time penalty? Yeah, that is here, level 8. So what other negative things can we do? I guess let's look through this list. Hilarious. Add bosses to every location. Level down your strongest adventures. These are supposed to be twists, though. Move the quick move menu. 2 extremes. Fighting the force and the inferno. Occasion changes, trade-offs. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of these written down. Quests take more items. Nerf low-level areas. Items disappear faster. Level ups take more sludge. Decrease starting gold amount. That's kind of interesting. You start with an adventurer. I think I wrote this up here, though. Anything that slows the beginning of the game is probably not very fun. It's probably better to make the adventure costs rise every time than to make the whole thing start at a higher amount. Because if the first minute of the game always feels the same, we should just skip that minute for you. Could require gold objective to be held gold. No, I don't like that. Customers desire items more but won't tip. Oh, customer tips go away? I wonder if that's interesting. Customers don't tip. So they desire an item and then they just give you the same amount for it. I wonder how much of an impact that would even have on a run. Like I could track tip amounts. I do kind of like that idea. Let's write it down at least for now. Maybe here. Then what else do we have? Change the goal entirely. Item sell for less. Could randomize loot from locations. Don't care. Lower max number of adventurers per location. Nah. Objective increased cost we already did. Fish fight back. Which I don't think I coded. Also, we just auto repeat the battle anyway. So I think this is a bad idea. You have less time before you lose. This isn't even a thing anymore. Battle penalties. Death penalty for your party wiping. I don't think this is fun. I've talked about this so many times because people have been suggesting this for a long time. Do you have any analytics in game or bug tracking? We just added some metrics today, but I haven't finished coding it. But there's no bug tracking, no. Tax your held gold by 10% every 10 seconds. Never let your gold build up too high. I think we could potentially come up with a way of doing this. Let me write this down as a negative idea. Tax your current gold amount. Maybe you lose some. I guess it would incentivize you to spend it, but what if you can't spend it? You lose X gold every time, every like 15 seconds that you're above a threshold. I'm not sure this would actually matter too much, probably by the time you get to this point where you're getting a tax, you're probably already spending it whenever you have money. And eventually the only thing you can spend money on anyway is town perks. So I guess it's making you micromanage a little bit more. I wonder if the way we could do this is not even have it be a threshold. Just you just lose like 1 gold every 5 seconds. Incentivize you to spend your money, but you're already incentivized to do that. And at some point, the only thing you can even buy is, well, I guess there are a couple things. They have a couple of options of what to buy. You have analytics that upload to cloud services. Been thinking about doing that. Do you usually need to opt in? I'll answer that in just a sec. But first, take care, Leap Year Girl. Hope you have a good weekend. So the just a sec has now passed. We just did this today. So here's how this works. We have a save file for challenge mode, and it contains a whole lot of information that's valuable to me, but has no personal information in here. So all of this stuff is just like Booleans, integers. That's pretty much it. Some strings. So here's what I did. There's a playtest version of the game, and it is only for people who get a Steam key directly from me. So right now it's like less than 100 people for sure. And the number of people who are actually playing is probably like 10 actual players, and not even lately, but probably once challenge mode is going, it will be. So I am just having it like metrics are forced on because it's just for the playtest mode. And the way it's going to work is it'll upload to my mini PC, which is what's running my bot. So like if you go to a.bot.land, this is pointing at my mini PC right now. Now the IP address is Cloudflare's IP because I'm using Cloudflare tunnels for that. So basically it's your machine contacts Cloudflare, which then goes into the tunnel to my computer. So you only know about this part, of course, but Cloudflare then knows about my mini PC. So then it serves up the content. So all I'm thinking of is this mini PC is basically just going to be like a JSON aggregation service, which we just vibe coded earlier today, and it took like 5 minutes. So now we have a database that can store a run ID, a metrics ID, and then run data. And that run data is just your save file. And then what I could do is I could run any analytics on these things and be like, okay, how many of the people who played the game got at least 10 town perks? So I go through every JSON blob and I check and I return a number. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so it could just be that you lose, say, 2 gold every 5 seconds, but can't go negative. All right, what else? What else? What else? I'm going to try raising my desk. I gotta be a little bit careful because I haven't done this in a while and I don't know if something's going to fall off. Okay, well, this keyboard won't work. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, so we wrote that one down. Change the goal entirely. I don't want to do that. Item suffer less we already did. Randomized loot, APM mode. We talked about a lot of these. Enemies gain some abilities. Maybe they can crit. Maybe they can poison. I think this would be really cool. So I think we should probably do this. But it might break the game. Win enough battles or else monsters take over your time. Yeah. I like that idea as like a final level thing. enemies gain abilities, or like normal enemies gain abilities. Maybe we randomize from a bunch. Crit, dodge, poison, maybe a heal spell, or like regeneration. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. So now what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 more of these. Is the taxing thing interesting? I feel like it's a good negative twist, but I don't think I'd want it to be there for every single game mode. Or sorry, every single game you do once you're beyond a certain level. Like imagine we add taxation to level 18 and you're like, oh man, on the highest levels you're just losing money. And then nobody in your town ever encounters poison. Except for the witch doctor. They're the source of it. But yeah, you don't need to think too hard about the Skeleseller lore, else you'll find holes pretty quickly. All right, what else can we do? I think having the game open would be good to keep a lookout for ideas. Let's send a character into battle. Actually, let's just start a new game. Yeah, let me just think of some ideas as I'm running through this. Maybe I should code the ones we have and then try out one of the modes and kind of see how progression starts working. So I'll send this character into battle. We'll hire another adventurer, send them into battle too. Get a building. Yeah, let's go with the garbage slime. So what could be a thing? Oh, you know what? Customers move slower could be kind of interesting. Lose money based on having idle workers. I think anything with losing money just strikes me as a feel bad mechanic. And I think there are a lot of ways we can get an equivalent that doesn't feel as bad. Like if you say things cost more, that's kind of like you losing money, but it doesn't feel as bad. Whereas once you earn the money, if you see your money total go down, you'd be like, I don't want that to happen though. That's why I'd keep it at a much later level. But I think we can still have it at a later level. It just doesn't have to be something that feels bad. It could just be that the costs go up again. In fact, we probably should do that. In fact, maybe that should be something even over here. Treasure chest costs more. Maybe put this here. Perks cost even more. Or buildings and or adventurers. Customers move slower. You know what'd be kind of interesting is if also workers move slower by default. It's like offsetting your meta perks to some extent. We need to make sure meta perks. I think it's just workers. We should just say workers move slower. Workers / adventurers move slower. Maybe just workers. Yeah. Because you can change. Yeah, you can change that a bit. It'd be funny if I said some items are heavy and workers move them very slowly. Okay, so let's see as I'm playing, do I come up with any other ideas here? Just an excuse to play the game. What a nice game. We don't have any of these. Let's go with that one. Why am I getting all this loot? This super lucky mode? Oh god, I won't be able to click fast enough. No, 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 no. Wow, not having the quick move menu actually does kind of matter, huh? Go, 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 go. All right, put you up there. Get my last 3 potions in here. Nice. Cute having clumsy customers. At this point, what I'd like to do is changes that don't require like new graphics and kind of can just build on the existing systems that we have. Why did I do this? These are all terrible. Let's go with that one. We got more space for that now. Put these in here. Might as well just get some money for these. Customer idle state to workers. They just stand around. Your workers sometimes do nothing. All right, let's get another building. Oh my God, what is going on here? This is horrendous. I mean, that could be something we do, by the way. People have kind of complained about this. Like, you can get town perks for buildings you don't have. So we could say that you can no longer get town perks for buildings you don't have. And then early on, we remove that ability. Yeah, that person wants a bow. Like I'm for clicking apples. They pop out of the apple. Okay, go on. Get the bow. You can do it. Give me a lot of money. Whoops. Yeah. 17 gold tip. That's how you know I'm the Skeleseller. Now let's get another adventurer. And then send them all over to the volcano. Oh, we could say locations aren't unlocked by default. I'll write down some of these ideas. This one's, I think, pretty good. Locations aren't unlocked by default. You start getting perks. Town perks for buildings you don't have yet. I think this is probably a pretty good one. Like early on, we stop that from happening and then we make it happen. Kickback. Hey, remember? Start spawning snakes in fights. You have to make sure the trees are empty. Alright, get a town perk. Man, this is kind of punishing. Yeah, I do think we should go with that idea. Oh, let's let it idle for a bit, and I'll try to figure out where we can slot this. So enemy power goes up. So this will bring it to 0%, essentially. Increase perk cost. I don't even know if we should do that, though. Increase perk costs. Start with only 2 per shop. Then we put this in here. You start getting town perks for buildings you don't have yet. You know what I should have done? I should have made this into a numerical list so that it wouldn't look like this. Can we do that easily? Yeah, and then I just delete the level from here. That way, if I want to rearrange the list, I don't need to, like, write out all the levels again. This is already tedious enough. Maybe I should just copy all of this. There. Fix the capitalization, too. Oh, but now I can't have blank levels. Oh, well. Something's wrong, though, right? I shouldn't have, There's only one missing level? Is that right? Huh, maybe it is right. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Locations aren't unlocked by default. It gives you one other thing to spend money on. I could see it working. Okay, so that adds up. Let's pick this one. So I should have gotten a lot of money while I was just sitting around, right? Yeah. Let's go with another building then. Yeah, let's get that. I have 2 perks for it already. What are they? More mana and loot magnet potency. Okay, let's click that. We'll get this. Put this in here. New town perk. Oh, quick move menu. Yes, please. Now I'm getting no items. Okay, nice. I'll put that up there. Put that in the... Actually, wait for that guy to buy something. What? You just walked past my daggers. You want a dagger? Guess not. Fine. This is bad. I need to add more twists. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take this. Make the game very easy. Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right, now I'm getting too much stuff. Enemy specific abilities, level 20. We give a random one to each enemy. Maybe reuse adventure ones if that work. I think they could just be from a pool of like easy to understand ones that you could see what's happening. I want this. But now I need the warehouse. It's 100 gold? I don't have that kind of money. I don't even have a farm. What a waste. All right, let's just leave this running. Yeah, this needs to be early on, huh? So where do we want to put this? Hi, Abby. Yeah, I'm standing up this time. There's no lap to sit on. Good cat. I think it should probably be this one then. Like here. Yeah. Okay, I like that. So we just need one more level. I don't need to figure this out now, although we might as well. Hey, player. Do the same penalty with adventure perks. Show only ones you own, then later show all. That one I'm less inclined to do. Hi. Where are you gonna sit? There's no lap over here. She's like, no, I want to be in your lap though. Oh, get away. You're actually pulling me. You're so funny. Nope, please don't tweet things. I'm sorry, Abby. I love that cat. Claws of infinite sharpness, yeah. You gotta cut her claws again. Okay, I can afford another building. Hooray. Get the farm. Put this on the farm. Why are my adventurers doing so poorly? I'm on level 0. Should be easy. Oops. I guess because I couldn't level up my adventurers. Hi. Oh, look at all that loot. Only we had a warehouse. But we don't have the money. No space for anything. The person wants a potion, come get your potion. Build a warehouse. Let's put the stuff in the warehouse. Okay, yeah, the quick move menu is very, very important. We have 1 armor. Hey, we got our first battle perk. Hooray, we're leveling up. Oh man, we'll go with that one. That one for sure. Although the farming one was pretty good too. Yeah, I gotta say this is way more laid back without the timer counting down. Yeah, interesting. The items despawn at a faster rate. I don't know how many people that would impact. Like, it would impact this run, for sure. Yeah, you know what? Maybe let's just add that in and see what happens. I can't even... I don't know if you can see. Her floof is, like, on the keys that I need to press to switch windows. I know. There's no laugh. She's so confused. Okay, fine. You want to just sit there? That's fine. All right, this is a pretty decent one, though. I'll write it down as an idea. All right, so where would this one go? It's basically going to encourage you to get the warehouse. So it should be like right after something is made more expensive. Maybe this one. Yeah, items disappear faster. Maybe like 10 seconds sooner. What's funny to me is I haven't stood at my desk in such a long time that Abby hasn't seen this in a long time, and this is how she's reacting, and it's just hilarious to me that this is her way of compromising. Just stand in between me and my keyboard. That'll stop me. All right, so we've got these listed out. What time is it? Oops. God, it's much harder to use my keyboard this way. 2:22. Okay, I want to do some testing. So how about we go code... How would I do this? Like, what I'm thinking about is the tutorial is not supposed to be hard. Just imagine that we had gotten that done. Which... I've got to figure out perk point progression. And I wrote out a function somewhere that does this. Where is that? Challenge mode end screen. Perk points. Reputation. Where is it? Here it is. Get rep earned for metal. Okay. Base rep is 120 plus difficulty times 80. And the difficulty level starts at 0. So it'll be, you could potentially get 240 rep on the tutorial, which is 2 perk points. And nothing costs 2 perk points. I think we have to change this. I think we have to add some increasing cost every time you get a perk. So that way perks can start out really cheap. And you get, 1 or 2 of them. And then the cost goes up, so we expect you to get to a higher difficulty level. Because the other idea that I had, I don't want to make a tree just yet. The other idea that I had was that some perks are just more expensive. So like this one might cost 10 and this one might cost 50. But then we're putting some power evaluation on each perk. And that's one way we can kind of stop you from getting synergies, but then it kind of makes everyone's runs sort of look the same. And I like the idea that you could just pick. But I also don't like the idea that you have like 50 things to pick between. Okay, just give me some space. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Hey Wolfman. I like branching out skill trees so you're not overwhelmed by choice in the beginning. I like that too. But we could accomplish the same thing by just having lower costs. So like, let's say we have 50 perks. We could make it so that only 5 of them have a cost less than, I don't know, 10 points or something. So at the beginning of the game, it's like, well, you're only going to buy so many things. Because the thing about a tree, and whenever I talk about trees, I just bring this up because it's just a game with a skill tree. But like we click one of these. The thing about a tree is that in order to plan a build, you still need to read basically every single thing in the tree. So it might be that you can't you can't afford this thing yet because this is at level 30. But you still need to know what it is because you're working toward it. So it doesn't really stop you from having to read everything, I feel. It at least narrows your focus, though. And if you know you have respecializations, then you don't really have to read anything. I guess you can always just read as you go. Kind of like different costs. I like the idea of grabbing some cheap ones until I can afford the quick menu, then respecing to grab the quick menu at the cost of the other perks I was using. Yeah, no matter what we do, there are going to be pros and cons. And some people are going to like it and some people won't. And that's not what the pro and con is. It's just some people are going to resonate more with one of these things. But yeah, I think the two main ideas I have are, and they're, you can use them both, but just some perks happen to cost more. And option 2 is anytime you buy a perk, make all perks cost X more. And X could just be equal to 1. Could be like, oh, it's 5 points to buy your first one, then it's 6 points, then it's 7, then it's 8, then it's 9. And we also give you more points for winning. And the some perks cost more would be like, there's a set of, you know, starter perks, we call them. And the cost is, let's say, 5. And then there's a set of intermediate perks. And the cost is 15 or something. And then they're like powerful perks. And the cost for those is 50. The weird thing is when you start getting synergies. So like farm perk A is probably not so powerful on its own, nor is farm perk B, nor is farm perk C. But when you get the combination of them, it's like, okay, now you've got a lot of power because you just powered up the same system 3 times. The only way to stop this, though, is with a tree. And you just make it so that it looks like this. That's not the only way. But the reason I say that is because option 2 sounds like it's a way. But option 2 basically forces you into picking synergies, because why would I get anything other than farm perk B if I already have A and everything's going to cost more anyway? But option 1 also lets us accommodate that, I guess. We could just put the synergies at higher costs. So yeah, maybe option 1 makes sense. So I think we're going to have to do that. And I'll write this down too when it comes to Monday. We're going to do like testing and balancing. Perk, we need meta perks to be divided into cost buckets. Like some should be maybe like 5 points, some 10 points, some 15, some 20, and some maybe like 25. There probably shouldn't be any that cost much more than that. Although we could have some pretty crazy ones, right? There could be something like if the average cost is, let's say, 10 points, we could have something for 100 points that says like start with the warehouse. I do think people would appreciate something like this. But I also think it kind of trivializes the game, but maybe that's the name of the game, is trivializing it eventually. So we just make these like an insane cost. I like the idea. I'll write it down. Do we have meta perk ideas? We don't. No, we don't. Wait, modifiers for meta progression. Oh, okay, fine. Meta perk ideas. So for a very high cost, we could make start with X building. It could even be start with 1 random building versus start with the warehouse. I think it sort of trivializes the game to start with specific ones. But it also feels a bit like a specialization. I think I could see start with a random one. I think that could be interesting. It saves you a bit of money. And maybe that helps determine what kind of run you're going through. Yeah. And like, hey, it's a sort of end game thing you're getting. Start with a free building rule. That'd be even better than start with a random building. Because then you could steer it. But yeah, I'll write it down. Could even be formulated as start with a free building choice. So that you can narrow down the options yourself. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Hit them with a cost increase after the choice. Your next building will be 1,000 gold. Oh, also we need the objective here to be pretty high. Goal should be like 10,000 gold. Yeah, I wonder what this is going to feel like when you have everything. In fact, I wonder what a run would look like right now if I just got everything. Let's just pick new game and click every single one of these. Like, what does this do for us? All right, now we start a new run. Let's do it at this level, which actually has some real modifiers on it. All right, so my adventures start off a little bit stronger. I start out with, yeah, so these are already level 2. In fact, maybe they can go to the volcano already and just skip a place. And I could build the farm, which already has 2 perks. Nice. Can they win this? They might not be able to. Enemies are a little bit stronger. But they're leeching 1 HP occasionally. They're barely going to win. Wow. Yeah, nice. All right, so that gives me some of these. I guess let's just get rid of all the... Actually, no, I shouldn't do that. Well, maybe I should. Oh, man, if I didn't disappear super fast, I could see that being frustrating toward the end. So maybe that is a good thing to have. Yeah, so this on its own is already kind of interesting. I'm starting at the volcano, and I normally wouldn't. And we're going to level up pretty soon. And we're getting money. Everything's going great. Yeah, so the meta perks make you very powerful. I want to get another adventurer, so I need 1 more item to sell. Oh, wait, no, I don't. I can harvest these. Done. Cheating. Whew. 3 perks. What do you have? Dual targeting? Oh, let's throw you in there. Man, starting with extra shop slots is so nice. I can get a battle perk. Disorient is pretty crazy. Let's get that. All right, customer speed. Yes, please. How big are the tiles? I think they're all 16 by 16. Ooh, another battle perk. Oh, level 5. The bursting horde. I want to go with the paladin. Just too tempting. Oh, what's that over there? All right, that's a lot of moolah. Yeah. Oh, wait. I have the quick move menu. What am I doing? I'm acting like I don't have it. I could have been using that this whole time. Oh my god. The rogues get even better. These are both really good. I already leveled up the warrior one, so let's go with that. Alright, I could sure use another building or more customers. Or just kind of anything that's going to do something for me here. Good. They're buying stuff. Good. They're buying more. I can get another adventurer. You can probably go to the next location. Did I end up getting the Witch Doctor ability? I did not. Alright, let's head to the next location. Hope they can win. Because they're not going to get blue potions there anymore. Oh my god, this is like the biggest quality of life thing is getting these perks. These probably cost a ton. Both of these are really good. I'm gonna go Swift Shoes. Because I only have the one worker right now. Well, well, well. Okay, both of those are great, but I'm gonna bank on getting the Paladin. Let's do it. I'm never gonna find the Paladin. I should send him back to the forest. Let's let him win this one fight. I'll send him back. How long is it taking them? What's their DPS? 23 seconds? 48 DPS? Okay. Let's get another building. Actually tempting to get that, but I won't. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, whatever. Alright, we don't have any slots for anything anymore. I just need 2 more blue potions. Why are they withholding them from me? There's 1. I need more customers. We should have just gotten another customer, yeah. Alright, so now we have another worker. Let's go send these back over to here. Ooh, cloning. Interesting. Very interesting. Farm, crop value, fish give gold. Let's go with this one. I'm trying it out. And I want to get the warehouse soon anyway. It does feel like the pacing somehow changed though, and I'm not sure how because it should only be easier. I guess it's only been 5 minutes. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Where's the Edie slime? I haven't unlocked him. I need 75 gold, and then I might be offered the warehouse and the treasure room. I might not even be offered him, but I actually, yeah, I guess I need to get him before I get the value out of my twist that I've gotten. Oh, we need this. We need boots to go in there. There we go. Let me go back to the volcano. I need the glove. There we go. All right, let's enter the volcano after this. That poor enchanter neglect. I don't even really need the items yet. I'm gonna do it from the volcano. Oh, these are almost dying. Wow, I guess increasing the enemy difficulty is pretty strong. It is definitely felt. All right, we got enough money for a building. There's the garbage slime. We got 3 perks for it, which is what exactly? Increased appetite. Oh, we get level 5 of that. And I love that. Seek food. And where's the last one? Oh, before I check that, let me do this. Where is the last one? I thought I had 3. That's strange. Didn't it say I had 3? Oh, because this counts, maybe? I think it might. I think leveling this up so that the max level is now 5 counts as a perk. I should probably write that down because I don't think that's going to be clear to players. Get another building, the warehouse. No warehouse. I don't want either of these. I want the warehouse. I'll write this down somewhere in here. Bug. If you get the meta perk that raises the max level of increased appetite to 5, and then start a run and get offered the garbage slime, I think it counts as a perk. So it'll say you already unlocked 1 perk for this. Hey Taylor, how am I just seeing this? I don't know. It's not like super popular or anything. It's also not out yet, although there's a demo that you could play. But yeah, I'm having fun. And I'm just testing out, is my build overpowered here? I think it kind of is. All right, we got all those. I should go back to the jungle now. Let's go do that. And level up another character. Man, what is going on with the offers here? I need the warehouse there. Now we're gonna put these things away. Get this. Yeah, sure. We should get a boot pretty soon. Nice. So now we have another worker. Garbage slime is automatically eating from the warehouse. Gonna restock everything. Looking good. Everything's on track. Now what do we get? All of these are good. Let's go for that one. And that one. Now I should probably get another adventurer. Is there a good automated way to test build balancing, or is it more of a manual thing? So for builds, it depends on what you're going for, but you could potentially automate it. But what I'm more concerned with is, how does it feel as a player? Does it like how do you automate the feeling that you have when at 9 minutes it feels like, oh, what are my choices? What am I doing in the game? Like, you might end up winning, but it might feel like there's a lull, or it might feel like you don't have many options. So I think it just requires a lot of like, all right, yeah, how do I feel? Do I feel like I have a choice here? Is there a way that I'm increasing my power according to what's going on in the game? You stream the complete development? Yeah, I think every VOD should be available on YouTube for free. This is what you do full time or dedicated hobby? This is what I do full time. Garbage slime seems way too happy for being a garbage slime. I just love the name garbage slime. It's gotta have a happy look on his face with a name like that. So I think we should hire another adventurer. Yeah, we don't have enough loot. All right, that's fine. Oh, wait, you can hire another one too. Paladin? No, no paladin. But we got a perk for Mushy that makes it attack within 1 second of starting a battle now. So as soon as this battle starts, it'll just attack. And it does a ton of damage. And then it's probably going to die. Yep. But then it comes back to life. And then attacks again. And now dies again. And we're probably going to lose. Yep. Well, that's too bad. They can't even beat the volcano. I guess because the multipliers are too high. There's 120% coming from this, and then I think 150% coming from the difficulty modifier. So it's like 180% enemy damage, which is just too much for the poor mushroom to handle. All right, turns out we don't need probably that many items. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Nice. Just eating directly from the warehouse. We can do that. We don't need them doing that anymore. Classic mushy play. Classic. Ooh, expanded warehouse. Yeah, sure. Customer speed. Ooh, that's a tough choice. More loot magnet or clearing out the rocks. Let's go with clearing out the rocks. Yeah. I want to power my adventurers more. Dump these in there. Dump that one into the ye old shop. Yeah, I guess I can go back. I thought that the workers were way too aggressive in putting those potions in the chef. You mean over here? You can just turn this off. There's a lever on the side. And if you turn it off, then they won't put it in there. See, he walks away. Now it walks back toward it. Now it walks away. Now it walks back toward it. That's one of the few things you actually can control. right, they want a dagger. Did not notice it. Yeah, unfortunately, not many people end up reading the perk that you get for that. Oh, it won't show in this mode. But there's a note that says you can toggle the lever on the side of the extractor. Most people read when they're opening up the perks and they're like, auto something. Yes, I'm getting that. And then they're just like, yeah, it's working. And they never look at it again. And I recognize that's a game problem, not a player problem. Oh, that's really good. There it is. Level 7 Paladin. Got it. What do they have? 23% haste, 13% lifesteal, 3% dodge. 4 skill points? Oh, this one was granted by challenge mode. The meta perks. So now I should put them in a battle. Do they ever upgrade or change? No, but I will eventually add something like it's kind of a cheeky way of upgrading them. Okay, so they're done with the battle. We're gonna send them into a higher level location where they'll probably die. Who do we send in? Let's get rid of you and put you in. I think you guys are gonna do very poorly. Let's get another perk. That's pretty nice. And then start this again for now. Okay, Paladin's healing a decent amount. Yeah, actually, I think they'll be fine. And the amount of damage the Paladin is taking should drop as the battle goes on. The thing is, I think my party is very overpowered for being 15 minutes into the game. And yet, they're still kind of struggling. The other thing is that without this counting down, I don't feel like I'm beating a timer right now. Like, I wonder if we should show an outline of a gold medal here. I think that would be nice. Yeah. I'll write that down in the polish. Show an outline of the medal you're on track to win right in the town menu. I think it would help encourage you to beat the time. Interesting. Okay. Send the 3 of you in there. Get some upgrades. You know what? Let's do it. Why not? Should I even get another building? Fishing pond? Yeah, probably. Get another adventurer. Cool. Warrior. Yes. Send you all in there. Oh, that's way more loot than I can handle. Yeah, that's too much loot. Tons of money. All right, we should be getting another twist pretty soon, right? That's nice. That's nice. They might win. They might. Yes, they did. Okay, so take them out of battle so they can move stuff around now. And then I'll send them into the fish battle. I can hold 8 fish. Ooh. Okay, that should make my party pretty much invincible. I cleared in under 30 minutes as much as a main, you're overpowered. You do not have a lot of faith, but don't worry, meta perks will carry him. It definitely feels less frantic. It's very funny what changing a timer from count down to count up will do. Because I don't feel like I'm racing against time right now. At all. Nice. Ooh, very good. Also very good. Dual targeting? Yeah, sure. We need another level up for them. Expanded potion shop, magic, treasure stands. Let's reroll. Next customers. No, I'll go with more mana. Yeah, so they're done. Let's send them into here. Should probably just sell some of those. Swear I just pressed this button. I think so too, yeah. Massive project deadline parade I'm working through. Must have compressed time. Well, thank you for the resub. I hope that this lets up at some point. Because even with Skeleseller, I feel like I've been pushing pretty hard and I enjoy working on it. But yeah, I'm going to take a big vacation if we find out that challenge mode is going great. No, actually, I say that, but I'll probably take like some time off or something. We have a trip planned pretty soon anyway. Going to a friend's wedding. Okay, nice. Reroll. Let's go with that. And that. I think something that would feel really good about this mode that I haven't really been testing yet is getting the meta perks. Like feeling like you're unlocking them and making progress there. And I cheated in infinite points, so that's why I can't test that right now. But yeah, that's the thing I kind of want to start on Monday, is seeing how does it feel? Is it balanced pretty well? Do you feel like each perk is helping you a little bit? Do the difficulty levels feel a little bit different? What's the goal here? 5,000? And I have a ton of time? Oh, right, but I gave myself all the starting perks, right? Because I was going to say, we're on track to win already. And I don't even need to click anything else, and it'll probably just automatically happen. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's also really good. Okay, new twist. Get a free treasure chest every 45 seconds? Yes. Don't want to read anything else. That means every 45 seconds we're gonna fill this up without me needing to do anything. I wonder if we should start grinding up weapons. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, a red key. All right, let's get one of these. What do you have? Good. It's for the golem and the cleric. I don't have any of those characters. Okay, let's hire one of those. I guess let's go the golem. Yeah. All right. Should probably click that. We got another treasure chest with just archer stuff in it. I am actually using the archer. Yeah, over there. So we should put this one in here. And if we can get drop quantity, that would give us 3 more items. But I don't have any other weapons. Well, I have these, I guess. No, that's not going to work. We need more workers. Let's turn these off for a second. Is this going to run out? Yes, it is. How's the fishing in game? It's, whoa, look at all that loot. Okay, turn this off and turn this off. It's a battle that your characters do instead of like you directly having a fishing mini game. I'll show you that in a second. Let's let these kind of clear out a bit. 10 bows. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them run around town for a bit. Yeah, so here's what the fishing looks like. You send them into battle at the fishing pond, and when they're at the portal, they're going to start the fight. Yeah, and then the fish don't fight back, so it's just a matter of how quickly can you defeat them. And every time you catch a fish, it cooks it in your chef's slime immediately. We're building Crystal Sky Palace till we're building a castle to maybe this wooden shack will work out. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I think everyone would probably benefit from having some amount of running a business experience so that they feel that pressure of a deadline themselves and not just feeling like it's arbitrary. Not assuming, I was curious where dev started. Yeah, Idle Ascendance was the prototype, which almost doesn't even resemble this game anymore. It's playable on itch if you want to check it out. It's not a very fun prototype. And it's not even loading for me. There we go. Yeah, it's not a very fun prototype. The whole point was to just be an automated Final Fantasy 1. I should probably have some like way of cheating in this game. So yeah, you would actually like pick the abilities you want to use in battle, and you'd slowly automate these and then pick skills for characters and stuff. Okay, they worked through all their items, so now we can send them back to where they... Whoa, 800 gold. That's a crazy amount of gold. We just got the final adventurer. Dog spirit. Oh man. This is like a super powered run. I mean, I know I cheated, which is why it's a super powered run, but this is pretty crazy. Yeah. And we have free treasure chests. Yeah, this run was pretty much guaranteed to win from the beginning. And now we have a dog spirit in here that can empower 2 things. Or I mean, woof it 2 things. Shouldn't it do that occasionally? Why am I not seeing that happen? It's only ever woofing at 1 thing. What? What's going on? Empowered spirits have a chance to use their abilities twice. This is terrible. Because it's really bad. The spirit needs to be empowered, which doesn't happen all the time. And then even when it happens... I wonder if it's broken. Huh. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it definitely works. It's just so rare that it might as well not exist. Should probably write that down. Power spirit seems bad in practice. If you have 4 spirits, the chance of any single one being empowered is pretty low. And then it's only a 40% chance to use the ability twice. However, if it were any better, it'd probably be super OP. Maybe we change it to empowered spirits use their abilities twice, but the second time is at X% power. Yeah, I think that would be neat. All right, so we've almost won. I've been doing almost nothing, right? I'm sitting on 1,000 gold. And we're about to win. So it doesn't even really matter if I pick any of these things, right? I will, but it doesn't matter. That immediately bought a new chest too. Nice. Oh, right. Workers can't open these. All right, there we go. Business succeeded. We got the gold medal, which means we earned 560 reputation, which is worth 5 perk points on its own, but we already had some rep. So it's actually 6 perk points. Yeah, we unlocked just a ludicrous amount of things. And that was with the goal being 5,000 gold. So now we go to the title screen, and now you'd be able to unlock the next level. And you'd also be able to get more perks if we had them. We don't. Because I cheated in too many perk points. Very interesting, though. Very, very interesting. I think this will be fun. A lot of it comes down to how we do this balancing. But yeah, I think next week should be the week we get this out to playtesters. And then I'm gonna, maybe I should stagger it. I think I have 7 people who have agreed to help or playtest without having seen this mode yet. So it'll be 7 sets of new eyes on the game. There are people who've already agreed to help and they've done wonderfully, but there's no way for them to go back in the past and forget what they've seen about this game. So I am very curious, the people who are new and start at level 0 or start at level 1, like how do they do? Is the metric server working? How many runs do they do? Are they really enjoying the game? The snake was being empowered all the time. It was a lot of the time, but sometimes it was the dog and it just wasn't woofing twice. You didn't like it, Taylor? I mean, I guess that's obviously you didn't like it, but I'm curious of what you didn't like about it and kind of what led you there. Because presumably you didn't go from like 0 to .NET and then to getting a job in like a month or something, right? This probably would have taken some time. So somewhere in this path you must have liked it, and then somewhere in this path you must have disliked it. Dog isn't woofing twice. So if I go into story mode, I think we can test this. I just click this and then only give it the cat spirit and then give it dual targeting. And it should be meowing twice now, right? And we put it in a battle with, I don't know, the witch doctor. And probably also do that. Yeah. Okay. So can they win and do they meow twice? It's got to be empowered. It's not been empowered. There it is. Meowed once. It's a 40% chance. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. 2 meows. Every once in a while, think about my progress on this, and I'll think like, why is it so slow? Why does it take this long to make a game? And just admiring this battle that's going on right now, and seeing all the little things that had to come together for this to work. It's like this is in its own movable window. It can be resized. All these enemies are fighting according to their own logic, and same thing with your characters. The graphics, the animations, the like redesigns of characters that had to happen here too. Yeah, 40%, yeah. Giant state machines are hard, which is what games are. Yeah, the other thing that's hard is just the game design. Man, this is one of the other things I'm kind of realizing. If you can iterate on your game design, I think you'd save a lot of time iterating on your code. But even then, it's so difficult coming up with what will be fun. What will be fun, what will be replayable. And maybe to some extent, like what will be novel. This isn't such a concern, I think. Like, it's pretty hard to come up with novel stuff for an entire game. Typically, it's like 1 or 2 mechanics that might be novel, a combination of mechanics. But still, these are pretty inarguable. Like, your game needs to be fun. This part, it doesn't. That's not. You could have a non-replayable game and it can still be fine. Anyway, it's tough. It's very tough. We've spent a lot of time just on challenge mode, I feel, and I think it's in pretty good shape. And I do wonder what it's going to look like at launch. But we have, 60 perks here. Only took 1.5 years. Cakes took 4 years. I mean, Cakes also worked on his own engine, right? And I have had other people helping me out too. Hey, the rooms that would shift over instead of spawning waves. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about is there was this, we've been kind of calling this idle light for a while, but there was always a question of how idle should the game allow you to be. And I kept talking early on about accommodating 2 play styles, active players and idle players. And at some point, it became clear what this philosophy should be, which is people who want to be active should be having fun. That was the bottom line. And if you want to sit back and relax, then yeah, sit back and relax. But there's something for you to do if you want to play the game. And that wasn't clear to me at first. And most idle games, if you're going to be active, are like boring active. It's like click this thing 1,000,000 times. That's not fun. Doing well until I tweaked the design of the game and all the tests that were created around outcomes died in a fire. Hard to do tester and development, the rules. Yeah. It's hard to even have tests when the rules aren't nailed down. I feel like that's the problem with games, right? How many systems have I axed from this completely? And if I had written tests, they would have taken 10% longer. And then I'd need to write tests for the new thing and take 10% longer for that and maybe axe that too. You choose an idle style, evil or active, good. Yeah, I haven't played that. To be honest, I don't generally like idle games. Hey, DD, welcome in. And thanks for the raid. What were you doing on your stream? I don't think I recognize the name, so let me take a quick look. Non-birthday stream on my birthday. Happy birthday! You saw the labyrinth. So yeah, I think idle games, the typical tropes that I see are infinite progression that's somehow tied to microtransactions, like, non-human number scales. So things like 10 to the 37th power or something. And what else? I don't know. The same like ascension system or prestige is typically what they might call it, like a prestige system. I think most of them essentially boil down to visualizations around numbers going up. And some don't even try to make the visualization all that convincing. I played a game called Iceps on Android, and there was a way, I think, of just turning off the visualization. So the idea was that you were, I don't know, like making a set of particles or something like that, and there was intensity and number of particles and whatever. But then eventually your phone would just grind to a halt, so you just turn it off. It's like, okay, well now it's just a bunch of numbers. Now there's no visualization. It wasn't a birthday stream, but it was my birthday. Okay, yeah. So if it wasn't a birthday stream, what is a birthday stream? What does that mean to you? A lot of the biggest idle games have no graphics. Well, a lot of them are just very samey in that regard. And I think anything with this combo, infinite progression and microtransactions, is evil. I think that's an evil game. I think you can have microtransactions, and I think you can have infinite progression. But I think when you have them both, it means that the incentive as a player is going to be opposite from the incentive as a developer. And I think you can have microtransactions and have those incentives be aligned. And typically for any like cosmetic only microtransactions, they're pretty aligned. It's like if a player wants to look pretty in the game, then buy some cosmetics, right? And you can still play the game, you can still have fun. There's still a lot of functional stuff. It's like there aren't too many arguments against it in my mind. But yeah, if it's just, hey, how far along on this number scale are you? And oh, pay $50 and move slightly farther along the infinite number scale, there's no real point. Were you streaming to celebrate your birthday? I just streamed today because I wanted to. Just happened to also be my birthday. I see. But yeah, so what did you work on? I'm guessing a streamer bot thing. Here we've been working on Skeleseller, and I've been working on something specifically called challenge mode for a little while. And yeah, so we have this button in here now. And if you never played the base game, the changes won't really make sense, but I'll kind of cover this quickly. So challenge mode is a mode where you will get some meta progression, and as you do runs, you'll earn more points so that you can slowly unlock some things, and then your next run will be easier. And the runs themselves, it is a town building game where you send adventurers into battles and get items and sell those items. So we got our little rogue walking over the portal here. We can hire another adventurer, actually. They'll start battling. We'll go send our mage into battle. So they'll battle for me, and then they'll win some items, and my skeleton will put it in the shops. I can also put the stuff in the shops. And then customers will come by and buy this stuff. So it's pretty laid back. This is called challenge mode because there's a way of increasing the difficulty level. And I think we should probably keep that name just so that it still connotes the difficulty, which will ramp up a bit. Working on my Pomodoro timer and task manager thing. It's using Godot and Twitcher. Just trying to learn stuff. Just adding some accessibility stuff today. Oh, cool. Yeah. I always wondered, what if I spent the last year and a half just developing things for my stream and not developing a game? And I think I'd probably have a cool stream and then nothing else to show for it. By the way, not a judgment call. I'm not trying to say that's what you're doing. I like when a stream is mature and knows what viewers want to see. And I think having like task management stuff and chat tools, I think it's pretty nice. Hey, Pressel, want to wish you a happy weekend? Truly just don't want to watch your stupid stream. Nope, makes sense. I get it, Pressel. I hope you have a good weekend, Pressel. And we want to see Cat. Did somebody say Cat? Guy just called out my normal streamers. No, honestly, if I'm going to call someone out, you know what bugs me is when someone spends a lot of time on stream tooling and then they get raided and then they thrust all of the tools into the viewer's face. It just drives me nuts. It's like channel redemptions. Some people have sound effects and stuff, so they'll see a raid come in and they'll start like spamming sound effects. And then the streamer has some like, oh my God, a raid just happened. And there's some like 2-minute long event. I just can't stand it. And I can't imagine how a normal viewer would feel where they're like, oh God, this again. It's like 2 minutes until I get to hear the streamer talk. I just, it's just such a pet peeve of mine. And I feel bad because it comes from a well-intentioned place. Like, oh, I'm making this entertaining stuff for my viewers. But I think there's like a certain, I don't know, like scale at which that works. Built so much for streamers and streamer bot, but my actual stream is a mess. It's probably not a mess. Yeah. Messing around in Godot, trying to get used to it. Gotta say I like it. Better experience in Unity. I haven't used Unity in so long. I can't comment too much on it. But I do like Godot. Drunk Dev ship battle for raids. I don't remember that one. I know I've seen some streamers do like Pokemon battles. I've seen, I don't know, all sorts of like, yeah, like battles specific stuff, I guess. There's a lot of what I remember. I don't remember the ship battle thing. I do think something is nice if you raid someone, if they have like an intro specifically for new viewers, especially if there are a lot of new viewers. Like if 1,000 people came into the channel and I'm like, hey, let me show everyone what's going on. It's probably nice to have a polished thing for that. It's a long one, but it's cool. A raid alert is different from like a raid event is what I'm trying to get at. A raid alert could be like, oh my God, there's a raid coming in. It's maybe whatever, a fanfare that plays or something. A raid event is like, instead of my stream content, we shift over to another scene and we're like, okay, now it's going to be a Pokemon battle and you get to pick your Pokemon and chatters get to vote on something or whatever. And if viewers like it, it's like, don't listen to my opinion, right? It doesn't matter. It's your stream. But as a raider, I don't like it. Chaos is built around great mini cartoon interactions. Yeah. I saw a streamer. I've been playing the finals and the finals has Twitch drops enabled. So I have to watch Twitch streams in order to get the drops. And I saw a streamer who had recorded something like 300 different clips of themselves doing some context specific action. So like, let's say the cat just jumped on my desk and I had a recorded clip for like, hey, Abby, how's it going? And then they would pretty expertly use all these different clips. And it's a funny gimmick. I could see it getting a little bit annoying. Was voting which path to go down, but also on raids. Everyone got a little ship. Talking back in 2017, 2018. Yeah, I don't remember that. Someone had a mini game where the streamer played against everyone during a raid. Can't remember who it was. It was super cool. Yeah, I think some of them are more interesting than others. I think the ones that are more automated, I think, are nice. Because then the streamer can still talk. The problem with the bigger events or the ones that have manual interaction is like, okay, everyone in chat, now here's the thing you have to do. And it's like, it probably is hurting their intro to their stream. I just want to hang out and I want to fill in a 28-page questionnaire. Yeah. My relationship with raids has changed quite a lot because as a raider, I feel like, well, let me put it this way. As a raidee, so like the stream that I go to, the target stream, it's typical for them to ask some questions, right? And I think a lot more streamers now have some awareness of like, hey, you want to do some self-care, feel free to go, whatever. And that's always kind of assumed, right? You're not going to hold someone hostage in your stream. But sometimes I get done with a day of like, it's a hard day of coding, and I go to someone else's stream and I'm like, I just want to eat some food. But the whole point of raiding is pretty much to network with people. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to sound like a curmudgeonly old Twitch streamer. Okay, I've done quite a lot today, and I know I haven't been doing anything for the last like hour and a half, but I think it's a good stopping point. I think what I'm going to do over the weekend is work on the rest of that metrics server. For those who didn't see it, it's a really simple Python server with one API. You post in some metrics and it gets saved to a database, and that's it. And ideally, this is going to work in the playtest version so that everyone's metrics come to my computer and I can go analyze like how many perks did people get and are they having fun? You know, did have fun is set to true. So yeah, let's pass on TD's raid to somebody else. Let's go find who's raiding or who's streaming. I haven't rated IRAD Dev in a long time. Let's rate IRAD Dev. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to get a command. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you have not joined Discord, there's a link, and there's a link to the demo on Steam if you want to try that out. If you do want to join the playtest, I guess I'll include that too. There's the document on how you can do it. It's basically just send me a DM on Discord. I think next week is when we're going to start to get to playtesting this. Yeah. Thanks again for the raid, TD, and I hope you have a good sleep. And thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back on Monday. Should be a full stream. Should be some like testing out, balancing, that sort of thing. I will catch you all later. Take care.